Josh pointed to the ripping flag. It's blowing toward the... Josh's jaw dropped when he turned west again. Storm! Cried Diggs.
He travels the land so that through him they sing the true song of Henry our king.
Wind blew the squall.
Okay. Welcome, people. I am your host, Cory, and this is the official companion podcast to Mafia, Buffalo versus the Multiverse book and audiobook. I am here today with my host, or with my guest host, Travis. Some call him Travis the Creator, Carlson. Please say hello to the people.
Hi, Cory's the only one who calls me that, and I think it was just last episode.
Don't worry, it's gonna pick up. It's gonna pick up. It's gonna catch on. So this is episode 3, and what you just heard was a clip of, to me, one of the dopest parts of this episode. It's Buffalo versus the Titans, week 3, and man, King Henry is that voice, and like, you know, feeling like my core shake. So the song in that, like the song that he's singing there, there's a clip of it. Is that a song you made up? Is there a significance to that song? Is it an already actual song?
It's a little bit of both. I mean, the lyrics for sure are original to this world, but it's kind of inspired or a takeoff of an old Marty Robbins song, which is like, he was an old like cowboy and a guitar player guy that I found sort of through this project. He had a song called Ghost Riders in the Sky, and so it's kind of taking some of those elements and making them into Titans, and making it, you know, as we do in this whole thing, transferring the NFL into a supernatural or super imagined universe. In this case, both.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. All right, so you understand how I feel about it. I feel like this is actually, I was excited to talk about this episode. Like after listening to it, I was like, I'm ready to go in there today because we're going to get into it, man. The Titans game in general was an amazing game. 41 to 7. 41 to 7.
Insane.
Yeah. And this is week 3. So this is
week 2.
Or
it's episode 3, but
so this is week 2, right. So in week 2, this is like back to back. We're coming off of a Rams win.
Yeah.
In the cyberpunk world, and now we're back home, and the Titans come to us. So can you give us a bit of a recap about the episode?
For sure. We are in a festive atmosphere in the Buffalo Nation. They call it the Buffalo Dance, where it seems like everybody from the plains and the mountains, and everyone's coming together to celebrate the return of the buffalo. And there's one person maybe doesn't seem to fit in, and this is this King Henry character. He ends up playing a song that summons supernatural powers. At first it's just a huge storm, and we've got tornadoes and hail and meteors, and those are all the Titans. He's summoning the Titanic gods from, I guess, Greek mythology.
Yep.
Our heroes face some tough injuries, and that actually become kind of serious. So it's a celebration of the first huge game, and at the same time, we're sort of left with like half a team, you know.
Yeah.
In both the multiverse and in real life. So.
Yeah.
This was is one of my favorite episodes altogether. I feel like the game suited itself, and maybe I was finding my rhythm finally with like how this adaptation thing is going to work. But I felt like I was able to find a narrative where it was sort of clear, like who the good guys were, what the setting was, and then how they're going to overcome him and not get too lost in the like, well, technically there was a third down I didn't include that I should have included.
But Josh looked higher still. Sailing above them tonight was a sphere of shimmering canvas, hydrogen, and ribbon flags.
This tethered hot air balloon floated higher than the campfire smoke. Its banner read, "A good year for Mafia folks." Waving, cooking, dancing Mafia folk from far and wide had come in the Great Migration. Home.
So this is like part of that celebration. This is everybody being happy.
So it's a home opener, and that first tailgate that all the Bills fans actually do circle the wagons.
Yeah.
And this was a Monday night football game. So this is 2 primetime games kicking off the season. And also that's a pretty good litmus test that they thought these were strong opponents.
Yeah. Yeah.
The hot air balloon is the Goodyear blimp, which came to Buffalo.
Oh.
So there's a banner.
Yeah.
It's Goodyear to be a Buffalo.
Goodyear, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's clever, man. I didn't catch that.
Yeah. That's it.
Okay.
That's what we're here for.
Exactly. You're getting them details, man. At this part in the actual book, when I look at it, there's like all these buildings. And some of them are pretty familiar, so I'm assuming that they're all Buffalo, like local Buffalo buildings, but like in this universe.
Yeah.
Can you and maybe if you have the book at home, maybe you can like spot out what they are. But can you tell us what each one is?
For sure, yeah. This was like one of my most fun things. I loved to explore what this would look like. It's like, so the rule was, how would Buffalo's landmarks like translate to this single street like West,
yeah.
Yes. And like, but they're not just wooden things. So yeah, you've got grain elevators, you've got Central Terminal, then you've got the currently ECC downtown, which has got the bell tower. That was originally a post office in Buffalo in 1901. That was built as a post office.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
For the World's Fair, they were trying to like put their best foot forward.
Yeah.
And so they built a lot of governmental buildings, like up to stuff.
Yeah.
So that was one of our treasures from that era. Then you got the Ellicott Square Dance Hall and Motion Picture Show. So the Ellicott Square building down on Ellicott Street.
Yeah.
Do you know that was the first permanent movie theater in the world?
In the world?
Was in there?
No, here in Buffalo?
Yeah, in the Ellicott Square building, which is still downtown.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vitascope. Corey and I did some movies together.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
One of our little teams, we did a competition together, was
Vitascope?
called Vitascope.
Yeah.
That was the name of that theater.
Wow. Vitascope Theater.
Yeah.
That's where it came from?
That's where it came from.
Wow. That makes it even better, man.
Yeah. So when this is a motion picture hall, this building almost would have existed in the time, these 1800s.
Right,
that we
yeah.
talked about.
Almost,
Just
yeah.
a little bit there. So then next to it is, if you look really close, you can actually see the names of these things. This is Poyer and Hyde's Attorneys at Law office, which is the Prudential Building, Guarantee Building downtown.
Yeah.
Beautiful terracotta building. Then Hotel Lafayette, which is the Lafayette Inn. Then we've got the Liberty Building. And then City Hall, of course. The McKinley Monument is like a totem, like a Native American totem pole. Then we've got the Statler, Shays. Then we've got the Gold Dome Bank. We've got a church, which looks a lot like the Electric Tower.
Mm-hmm.
And then New Fort York itself, which is based on the Richardson. So, yeah, this is my absolute love letter, fanboy letter to Buffalo. This whole book is. But, and I just love that, AI art allowed me to like be able to really spend time. Each one of these took like a day to.
I was gonna ask that, like, how long does it take to get that detail? Because I'll type something in and it'll give me something way off.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah.
And that's why it takes a long time. Especially at this era, like, the AI art you're using when you're listening to this, I was using Midjourney. I think it's still.
They just got video. They're working on their video now. Yeah.
But at the time, you almost were writing code. You were using English words, but almost in a code to try to pull off what you're trying to do. You could not use picture references, which is like very normal now. And and then I did a lot of Photoshop to kind of cobble it all together to make it work.
Monsieur, what year est là?
Josh could hardly understand the question inside the French accent. The man in black mold snatched the jug hard, elbowing Josh back as he took a suck.
I taste ram blood.
The man smiled, showing bone-white teeth and gold.
They claim you are a savior, no? Is this what you tell them?
No, it is not. And he was serious when he said, I'm just Josh.
That part right there, right? You're their savior, no? Is that what you tell him? You telling people that? He's like, no, bro. I'm just trying to be me.
Yeah.
And that totally does seem like a Josh Allen response. He can have a Gatorade or a Nike poster hanging downtown, and it's like, nah, man, I'm I'm chilling, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, can you talk, like, even in writing that, like, where does that come from? How did you pull from that? Were there any interviews where this stuff came up? Was this an actual relationship you feel, or actual, like, rivalry between Henry and Alan, or did you make it just for the...
No, yeah, it's all there. So Josh, not trying to embellish himself or, you know, take the spotlight too much, he seems to have one of the smallest egos of a superstar you could ask for. I feel like he's the most Buffalo person, like a perfect fit.
Mm-hmm.
If I look at other quarterbacks around the league, I can't think of anyone more in line with what we would want our hero to be.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
King Henry, that's Derrick Henry's nickname. The commentators call him that. It's everywhere. So I look up King Henry and I'm like 47? King Henry is like the most common name, it seems, to be in history. I list all those different countries like Byzantium and China and England, obviously.
Yeah.
So in case you missed it in the story, the concept is that since ancient times, the Titans, the gods, have kept one mortal alive to just sort of like roam the land forever and summon them anytime that humans get a little too out of control. At least the messenger who lets them know to come down because it's getting out of control.
Yeah.
In theory, that's this moment where, like, okay, the Bills got all this dignity from Los Angeles. They had the big hot shots. Well, maybe it's time that we
knock them down a peg. Yeah.
Which would lead to the thing you were asking about, the Music City Miracle.
Yes.
King Henry lay all of his weight on Josh's lungs and whispered next to his head the final verse.
Some hear of my verses, my curses laid out. But in old Music City, I started a drought. It was 16 seconds and an era ago, said the miracle I made to destroy your soul.
When they were still the Oilers, there was the comeback game where they had us dead to rights, and we came back in overtime and came back with the win. And then late 90s, as they are the Titans, the music, this is what started the drought.
I didn't know until I was like really trying to research it.
Yeah.
This was before my time with the Bills, but like that was the last opportunity the Bills would have had to get into the playoffs, and then they just wouldn't. And so the Music City Miracle, the Bills had the game, won, and there was a kickoff that needed to be happened. Should have been the last play of the game. The Titans do a lateral across the field, which results in a touchdown, a game-winning touchdown, walk-off touchdown. And if you're a Titans fan, it is the Music City Miracle, amazing. And if you're a Bills fan, you suspect that is what it is, which is a forward pass, which is illegal, and the game should have ended there too. So you might, consider that. Obviously, terrible news. I don't know if you think of it as a curse, but it certainly seemed to have led to a long period where we didn't make the playoffs. And so there is a deeper history with the Titans. It's not someone you think of as like our biggest rival all the time,
right?
But definitely a history where like a pretty, hallmark, landmark moment in Bill's history happened.
It's there, the symbolism there, and like just the feeling of it. Because I picture him like over Josh, Josh not being able to move, and him singing a song in his ear and telling him like, this whole time. I mean, almost on some Scar Simba, when Scar tells Simba like, it was me, right, and Simba's like, no, like that's what it felt like to me. That's like what I'm envisioning, like, man, this scene. And so for Josh to be having these flashes of like, like, Uncle, this is the last thing they remember. They don't know this stuff. They only know we died in the drought, like, Philly and everything.
Yes.
And so it comes up with, oh, nah. And then so in this moment of me like, what's going to happen next, and feeling like 5-year-old me watching Scar and all this and that, I have to flash back to remember what the score of the game was though. Like, okay, so I know this is going to end in a positive for us, but it takes you on a journey. It does.
Yeah.
The tables are taking up too much room, said proprietor Duff, looking at the refugees in her saloon. We can fit more people without the tables. Smash them, called Boom Boom Milano. Break them all. Brave Mafia folk answered this solemn call of duty. In every saloon, inn, and bank, everyday women and men heeded the call of the Mafia to break every table that could save more lives.
There's one thing that a Bills fan can do. It is break some tables. So listening to that, I was like, yeah. That part is, that's awesome.
So that was like an ultimate goal. Was like, is there a way to in this world where we mash up real life and supernatural, is there a way to justify a good reason that why we smash tables? Mm-hmm. And there are more than one, but for this one, it is sometimes the call of duty comes.
Yeah.
And there's too many tables in a room that could hold more, so we got to just get the tables out of here fast. And it's just how many Bills fans are just waiting for that moment.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We need people to break tables. What do we do?
Is there anyone who knows how? Stop these white plastic tables in this room?
So we get maybe it's not the introduction to it, but we shine a light to Poyer and Hyde, which are the safeties, and they're like keeping them safe. They're the lawyers in this, which is also very creative. And so they have their law firm, their law office, everything split down the middle. Like that whole visual is really great.
I love those guys. Like they were always like my favorite players on the defense for sure. Micah and Jordan were great. I had the awesome opportunity to get to travel with Micah to his hometown and do a little video feature on him.
Very cool.
And he also grew up in a farm setting and worked on a farm and stuff and was showing Jordan around it and whatever, and all good. But they, on the field, like, they had it locked down. I think they were the first like major moves that McDermott made when he came to Buffalo was to wheel and deal to get those two. And we just, as a team, never needed to think about the deep ball threat. They seemed to have it locked down until they got into the end of their career. But in this time, it was just interception after interception. And then it was also important to establish Micah and Poyer early here, because in this game, Micah got basically a career-ending injury. We didn't know it literally in the gameplay moment of it, but he's going to leave the game in an ambulance to the hospital, and we'll find out in the days after that that's probably the end of his whole career. That was a huge shock.
Yeah, man.
The school bell tolled. Mafia folks said nothing. The open wagon with Bucktail Jackson and then Mr. Hyde were carried in by every able-bodied member of the Buffalo Bills Wild West show. Hamlin, J.L.B. Poyer showed an apprentice the enormous half of Mr. Hyde's office. It was ransacked beyond repair. You want me to help clean it? We need you to take over.
Put in the collision between Tremaine and Dane Jackson.
Yeah.
Which was a real serious. It happens in football, but it's not every day that like the game stops, an ambulance comes out, people kind of rally around. I didn't know when I wrote it that this is only foreshadowing in more than one way, like what is coming. With the biggest injury, I think, in NFL history, for sure. One of the biggest injuries in sports, with Hamlin being actually passed away for a period of time.
I feel like we mentioned it in an earlier episode. There's benefits to you having written this in the moment. When we talk about like Diggs, our attitude towards Diggs, being in the moment versus now, years later. In the same respect, it makes, to know that you wrote this in the moment and to know what happened with Hamlin, it almost makes it more epic to be like, wait. Like this is when he got in, you know what I mean? To know what's coming for him, but to know where he even, succeeds beyond that. It's like he has his own road, but that's something that's only in hindsight, you know?
It's even interesting just to like think about the reason Hamlin's on the field in the Bengals game is because his, veteran had a career-ending neck injury and was taken out of that season in an ambulance and stuff.
Diggs, Blizzard Dancer. Go Bills. How's the leg? Getting better. Okay, this is, as you can see, a hot air balloon, and it's working great. I saved some nice people with kittens who were in a basket. There was a tornado in town. Had to toss the people onto a big table, and I've been piloting this thing inside a supercell storm. Diggs paused for the appropriate reaction. Even though he didn't get it, he still said, I know, right?
So I love your Diggs impression, and I think that's a great clip, just because, like, when I hear it, I myself, maybe it's as an actor, but I, act it out, you know what I mean? He's like, inside the supercell? I know, right? Like, he responds to himself, even though nobody gave him any. And so, I mean, whatever you want to say, if it's like, oh, I'm trying to do this with Diggs, or I don't want to paint him this way, it's like, but that level of just like self-awareness, I guess not self-awareness, but like awareness of a person is just so funny. Like that would be in a movie, you know what I mean? That's hilarious. But this scene is coming with him talking to Blizzard Dancer. Yeah. So I don't know who Blizzard Dancer is. I don't get the reference.
Yeah, and I don't. It's so fair, and I don't know if anyone would naturally do it because it's intentionally a deep cut.
Okay.
So it's Tredavious White, who is a corner, and recently just returned to the team after time away. So Trey is the most likable, infectious, happy person on the Bills team. Maybe like ever. I don't know, top 5 ever. Not that I know all the players, but he's always singing and dancing and joking and bringing everything up. Yeah. So in the iconic Blizzard game against the Colts, the Bills were in their all reds. It's a very epic, whiteout game, and one of the big memories from that is Tredavious is out there dancing. Like he's just having the time of his life. He's like the 13-year-old or the 8-year-old in a snow game, just having fun. So Blizzard Dancer, would have become like the nickname for him. I
see.
He's a big part of, the Bills at the time. He's a part of that defensive, Poyer, Hyde, and Trey White. So like, I was really expecting him to be, a really central character. So I'm like, he's going to need to be introduced early, and like because he's so great, and he is. But that's true. Again, it's a part of like writing it in the moment.
He don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. He ended up being good, and he comes back, and but he's there, he's available, and maybe this year he'll really go off, and I'll be like, even years ago he was established. Last episode, you were asking about like, there's like a day player, so to speak.
Yeah.
So Reggie Gilliam scores a touchdown in this game.
Yeah.
He's a player who like we ended up not needing to explore like super deep, but I wanted to like acknowledge that he did it. So in here we've got Josh asking RG Wheeler to go grab some water. Josh is gonna give a donation to King Henry because he thinks he might just be thirsty and a confused old man. Mm-hmm. That's I think one of the best examples of like the code of references I'm trying to put in here.
Yeah.
And he's just a random Mafia folk guy, so to speak. But at any point, we can step up and contribute to a game, and so that's the type of role that fit with that tier player. Yeah. But your Dawkins and then your tiers of your Diggs and your Allens, like, okay, they're gonna have backstory. We're gonna explore their worlds. And
I think it's interesting because most at least in my viewpoint, most great directors. When they want to do an Easter egg, it's not something that's in your face like it's an Easter egg. But when you start to get into that world, you start to realize you can pick up on something like, I think this might be.
I think now that you say it, if someone has a name in the book, it's because they exist.
Okay.
That's probably the way to go.
Okay.
there are so many characters to keep track of. If they don't have a name, they're just a fictional.
Gotcha.
But,
I'll look again to see if there's a McCants somewhere in the
Cory
books.
McCants character. Yeah.
He's got to be in there somewhere.
Awesome actor. He's probably in the motion picture hall.
There we go. Yeah.
Kaleidoscope.
You're right. There you go.
You're in Blind Spot.
I like that.
Or the vaudeville show.
I like that, man. Yeah.
Everyone should watch Blind Spot.
It's a great. You're right. That's a great piece.
Corey and I got to go to Cannes for that project.
We did. That was the first project we ever worked on together too.
Yeah.
That was actually a really dope experience.
Yeah.
And that was when I got to my first toe dip into the world that is Pan Am and Travis's brain. And so, look at us now. You know what I mean?
Yep. Everything's changed, right?
It was.
Now that we're millionaires and things are going so well, and I mean, you've got the Ryan Coogler movie coming out.
Yeah, you're right. That's Sinners 2.
Corey plays both parts.
I could do it. Honestly, you give me enough time, I could do it, man. So the end of that game and the end of this chapter, I think bittersweet is the perfect way because it's a win. And it's a big win against a team that we've had history with and all of that, but at what cost?
Yeah. I don't know how many, I didn't count, but 6 or 7 starters are gone, and 2 of them in critical.
He had no song to sing, but Josh sat on the porch step, his bare feet in the dirt, and he offered for Bucktail Jackson, Bear Morse, Utah Davis, Bigfoot Phillips, Boom Boom Milano, Rawhide Oliver, Blizzard Dancer, and Mr. Hyde, a cowboy's prayer.
So no matter
That was setting the stage for what was coming next.
No matter what, these injuries lead us into that next week, whether it's like we want to play or not.
Yeah.
That you can't just say, "Oh, we'll sit this one out."
Yeah.
And so it is coming off of a second big win in a row. But it's leading into what's next.
So Miami's on the schedule.
Miami, ooh.
Going to Miami.
Yes.
And if what I remember, the thing one people might remember is it was like the hot game.
Oh shoot! Yeah, 100 degrees.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what we have to look up. This is what we got to look forward to.
That's right.
So I'm excited to see what you is it on the sun? Is Miami on? I'm excited to see where this world takes us, where this multiverse takes us with Miami.
If you want to get your own copy, go to panamfilms.com. Otherwise, we will see you next time on the Multiverse. And thanks for being here on the official companion podcast.
Thank you very much. I've been Corey. This is your man Travis.
Go Bills.
Go Bills. We'll see you next time.